Hello and welcome to the March edition of Shropshire Business Live TV. I'm Chris Pritchard.
And I'm Carl Jones, and we are here at the Skills Show. Telford's International Centre, the arrow gives you the clue where we need to go. We're going inside for a very exciting show today, aren't we, Chris?
We have, yeah. It's a busy old show, Carl.
Not only are we going to be meeting lots of interesting people, we're going to be launching a very special Apprenticeship Awards. And we can't wait to tell you all about it.
Shall we go inside? Yeah, come on.
So here we are at the Skills Show. Thousands of people expected. It's one of the biggest events of its kind in Shropshire. It's all about apprenticeships, skills, employment, reskilling, loads of big companies from Shropshire here. So what better place, we thought, than to officially launch the Shropshire, Telford and Wrekin Apprenticeship Awards, don't you reckon?
I think so, yeah. It's absolutely brilliant. This is going to be great. I can't believe, Carl, we have never had apprenticeship awards like this in the county before.
I think what's really interesting is Shropshire is the only county in the West Midlands that has never had its own.
That's unbelievable, really,
the ladder
isn't
for
it?
Shropshire we've had, the ladder for the Black Country,
Yeah.
and it's such a big talking point at the moment. Skills is, you can see, for the number
Really
of people
is.
that are here at the moment. So today we are launching officially the Shropshire, Telford and Wrekin Apprenticeship Awards. As we've hinted, there are categories for employers, so large, small, medium employers. If you employ apprentices, past or present, and you are a champion of apprenticeships, then you can enter. And we've also got lots of individual categories covering everything from IT and digital to engineering to business, finance, tourism, loads and loads of different things. And most importantly of all, it's free to enter.
It is free to enter. You can enter right now. And the closing date for that is in June, isn't it?
June the 28th is the closing date. The awards will be presented in October as a glittering event. Top secret, some of the details are on that, but we'll tell you more about that. But the main thing at the moment is if you are a star apprentice or if you employ a star apprentice, get involved. We're really pleased that so many companies, big organisations have come on board to sponsor this awards with us this year, which is being delivered in conjunction with Sbltv, which of course, Chris, as well means we'll be able to film and stream
Absolutely.
the awards night. Bit of Hollywood coming to Shropshire as well.
Definitely, we're looking forward to that. So basically, it's completely free to enter. Get on board, get on the website now, details are on your screen, enter, make sure you've got that entry in plenty of time, and we'll see you in October for that one.
Absolutely, and so the whole show this month is dedicated to the topic of skills. We're going to meet now the two headline sponsors of the competition, ACO and Telford College, but we'll also be catching up with lots of other companies that are on board with us and going into the main hall over there as well and having a little look at what's going on. But of course we've got our regulars too, so Nick Jones will be dropping in very shortly too as well to give us his latest thoughts for our Ask the Experts slot. It's going to be a busy one, isn't it?
It is going to be a busy one.
Shall we get started?
I think we should.
Let's do it.
So I've come onto the Telford College stand here at Telford Skills Show, and at Telford College are one of our main sponsors of the Shropshire, Telford and Wrekin Apprenticeship Awards. So this is a great opportunity to shout, isn't it, about apprenticeships in the county?
Yeah, absolutely. Apprenticeships are something I'm very passionate about. Telford College are very passionate about, and we've got some fantastic employers that we work with, some fantastic apprentices that are going through the process and are completing their apprenticeships. So it's really good to have a day, and you can see how busy it is. It's absolutely buzzing here. So it's great to have a day to sort of celebrate it and shout about it, really.
I mean, apprenticeships in general are really important, aren't they? And it's something that's growing more and more. We're hearing more about it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think over the last few years, since I've been at Telford College, since about 5 years or so, we've gone from strength to strength, really. The quality of the apprenticeships are fantastic. The experience that apprentices have building their careers is really, really important. The amount of companies that are really sort of emphasising the experience that people get and balancing that with what they do when they come to college. And it's that sort of joined up approach that is really important. The college is playing their part in the apprenticeship, the apprentice themselves, and obviously the employer, giving that real life work experience, tasks that they're doing day in, day out, and really making sure that that apprentice is supported.
At Telford College, you've got a wide range of apprenticeships that you offer, haven't you?
That's right. So yeah, we're always looking to put on more apprenticeships because we want to sort of make sure that we're serving our local and surrounding area. That's a really important part of what we do. At the moment, we've got things that are sort of more office-based, business admin, accountancy, IT apprenticeships. We've got things that support our education locally as well, things like early years and teaching assistants. And then we've got a lot of trade, construction, engineering-based apprenticeships that are, again, incredibly important. We've started to look at more pathways for engineering, so we've got not just a level 3 engineering apprenticeship, we're looking at a level 2 option, and we've got a level 4 HNC option as well. So again, it's really looking at those different levels of what people sort of can develop onto as well.
How as a college then do you choose what apprenticeships to put on?
So again, that's really employer-led. There's no point in us putting on apprenticeships if actually there's no demand out there for it. So I mean, good timing. You can see all the sort of different companies that we work with, but it's speaking to a lot of these guys, SMEs locally as well, and making sure that we're listening to what they need. What do they need in their workforce? Because then we can sort of look at that. We can work with some of the business programme managers at Telford College and be putting on the right apprenticeships that are out there that are needed in that local area. And that's incredibly important for us as a college, making sure that we're making beneficial impact to the local area.
So is this a conversation that you're having all the time with local employers?
Yeah, every day we have different conversations with employers about what their needs are, and it's really sort of trying to get that market intelligence to build up a little bit of a picture of what's happening, what's needed, and then hopefully we can do the hard work behind the scenes to make sure those are available.
And I bet you've had some real good success stories, haven't you?
Oh yeah, fantastic. Again, one of our colleagues, David Morton, fantastic. He looks after a lot of our construction engineering apprenticeships, and we speak relatively regularly on some of the good news stories that we're having with things like construction, groundworks, property maintenance, when they go through their endpoint assessment and they pass. And David's saying we've had 8 more pass, and it's great. It's really good news, and it's a testament really to him as leading his assessors and the assessors who are sort of supporting. And then again, the mentors who are helping these apprentices day in, day out develop their skills and go through the challenging times to sort of come out at the other end and be successful and build their career.
Are there certain sectors at the moment that are really growing and really looking for apprentices?
Yeah, so I mean at the moment, it's so busy, but I think like engineering, really, really busy. A lot of young people and of all ages really coming through and expressing their interest from the apprenticeship side of things. And again, from an employer side of things, they're really sort of looking for opportunities for getting people in as well. Construction, always really, really busy. So we've got some great partnerships with employers, but things like property maintenance, where it's more of a multi-skilled apprenticeship, really popular. And things like bricklaying, groundworks, highways maintenance, things that we probably have a little bit more of a specialism in. Really popular, and hopefully, really good to shout out about today to people who are coming through and wanting to talk about apprenticeships.
One of the things is people think maybe sometimes apprenticeships are for school leavers, but it's not, is it? Apprenticeships are available for all ages.
No, absolutely, and again, it's a regular conversation we have. So stereotypically, people will think that, and they'll have that idea of what an apprenticeship is. The apprenticeship, I always say, is just a terminology. It's just that umbrella of what that is. We have lots of people who come. We're working with a chap at the moment. He's 36, I think he is, mid-30s. He's looking at retraining, so he's going into a local school. And he's a teaching assistant. But it's just that he's come to a point in his career where he thought, you know what, I want to change, and the apprenticeship will give him the skills, the theory, the practical experience that will set him onto that journey of being a really good teaching assistant and hopefully helping lots of young people in those schools that he's involved in.
So even if you're in a career at the moment, it's definitely worth having a consideration, coming and maybe having a chat with you guys and finding out more.
Yeah, absolutely. As I say, there's so many different scenarios, and that's again one thing that we really want to shout about. Apprenticeships are one part of Telford College. We've got an adult education programme as well that we work closely with. So even if we have that conversation and we look at apprenticeships, that's one route. If we look at things and apprenticeship isn't quite the right focus or the right pathway, we've got other things in the college as well that we can direct people through and they can start training, just a different pathway. There's so many things, and again, that's the thing I think where it's great that this is a skills show. So it's not just about apprenticeships, it's about all the other things that we can do as well.
So that conversation could get started then if people come along to your website and take a look?
Absolutely. So yeah, they can give us a call. You know, the number's on the website. They can get onto a website and fill out the inquiry form, and it will go through to the right people at the college to give them a call back. So it's just initially having that conversation, just touching base and expressing some interest, and we'll go through from there, really.
Well, listen, we're looking forward to the awards, and thank you for being one of our headline sponsors.
Brilliant. No problem at all. We really enjoy it, and we really want to make sure that people know what support they've got in the local area.
Brilliant. Thank you, Chris.
No problem. Thank you.
I'm slightly unnerved at the moment because I've just seen an 8-foot penguin walk by at the other side of the camera there, folks. But we'll carry on. This is what the Skills Show at Telford International Centre is all about. I'm joined here by two of the esteemed members of staff from ACO in Oswestry, one of the headline sponsors of the awards. Now, I mean, you guys, apprenticeships are really important to you, aren't they? And they play a big role in the business. Just explain a bit about it.
We've had an apprenticeship programme going now for most of my time at ACO, probably 5 or 6 years. We've been bringing apprentices in and through the business. We've currently got a handful of apprentices on data apprenticeship course, which Ryan is one of them.
So you can talk from two different perspectives then,
absolutely.
on behalf of the company and as an apprentice.
Yeah.
So how's that worked? How's that come about for you?
So it's been really, really good actually. I think it's a great opportunity to be in the workplace and still kind of learning as well, get back into that learning mindset, trying to always improve. It's a great opportunity as well working with ACO, so really, really good opportunity I'd say for anybody that's looking to get involved in apprenticeships.
I mean, one of the things from a company's point of view, I guess, as well, is that apprentices that join you want to see what the progression opportunities are like. But you've got apprentices who've grown through the business, haven't you?
Yeah, and Ryan's an example of that, and there are many other examples of that through the business. People who have come in as apprentices and worked their way through. Our finance director is actually a great example of that. A long time ago now, before Ryan was born, I think.
You weren't thanking for that.
Oh no, that's why I added it in. He joined as an apprentice and worked his way through that business up to director level, and that's the ethos of our business, that you can come in at an apprentice and you know what, it can be anything you want to be.
And how does it work then from your point of view in terms of time you're working, time you're training, time you're studying?
Yeah.
How does it?
So ACO have been really, really good, to be fair. I mean, given all the time that we need to actually do that apprenticeship, but already I've learned these skills that I can actually bring into my role as well. So I'm not only trying to keep them separate as an apprenticeship work and then my day-to-day job, but also just implementing the skills that I've learned into my role as well. So it makes it really, really easy.
Is it taking you in directions you maybe didn't realise you'd go then?
Yeah, absolutely. Most definitely. There's been so many kind of tasks and things that I've looked at recently that maybe 6 months ago I would have attacked in a different way. But again, like I say, learning new skills and just putting my mindset out there that there is other ways to do things has really, really helped kind of progress the way that I work and do things.
Yeah, I think, Carl, one of the critical things about that is that an apprenticeship's typically 20% off the job learning, but become more than 20% more efficient at your role with the skills that you learn. So actually, Ryan spends a lot of time in his apprenticeship, but he's able to do his work more effectively, so he can free up the time to do the apprenticeship, and that applies to any role that we have.
And I guess one of the other things, following that theme, with an apprentice, you're able to mould that person into the particular role that your company wants, not just take somebody bespoke off the shelf.
It's been really useful. We called it growing our own. I don't particularly like the saying, but there's a skill shortage in Shropshire. There's no way around that. There's a serious skill shortage. So we took a decision many years back that we've got to grow our own skills. We're in quite a bespoke market. Fire safety is quite a bespoke market, so we can't get fire safety professionals and bring them in, but we have the knowledge in-house. So bring people in, give them some of the core skills they need for an apprenticeship, as well as the soft skills as well. We also develop soft skills in people, and then they can work through the business and make our business grow.
And as the reigning Shropshire Company of the Year, obviously a lot of people will know about you. Does that help when it comes to actually recruiting, or does it affect the kind of people that want to work for you?
It definitely helps. So even from any role, I've recruited recently and I think I had 40 applications for a role. I get calls off agencies quite often who want to help us with recruitment, and we actually don't need to. Our biggest problem is filtering out the good applications for the amount we've got. So it does seem to help us, yes, definitely.
And what's the plan for you? When's the apprenticeships complete then?
Well, I've got a long time to go yet. It's a level 6, so degree level, so it is over the 3 years, and I'm only about 6 months into it. So again, I don't honestly know. I think it's such ever-evolving kind of workplace that these skills will hopefully set me up for any kind of opportunities that will come up. I've moved already through the operations team, now into sustainability, and now on this level 6 data apprenticeship. Who knows where that could go into the business? So many skills there that every kind of role can use, that it will really kind of branch off to anywhere.
I mean, that in itself is quite an important thing to get across with apprenticeships, isn't it? It's not just about level 3, school leavers, sixth form. There are levels of apprenticeship right the way through, as you say, to degree level. Some people don't realise that.
No, definitely. Our apprentices we have now aren't a typical apprentice, aren't a school leaver coming in. They're actually already colleagues who've worked with us, some through several departments, and now we're upskilling them even further by putting them through apprenticeships. It's important.
And tell me a bit about ACO then this year so far. Business going well? You've got lots going on.
Business going incredibly well. We've just hit some real big turnover milestones in March, some really big numbers coming out of us. Business is strong. It's going really well for us at the moment.
And you've got your own awards coming up, of course, haven't you, in a few weeks' time?
Yep, our community awards. So we believe in giving back to the community. It's one of our core values. And we look at all the good work that our social landlords and contractors and people that are within our industry are doing around the country. And we said, why not have our own awards show? And why not recognise that? So that's it. That's coming up next month.
Excellent. Never stops, does it?
No.
Well, thank you so much for being on board as our headline sponsors, and looking forward. I hope you are looking forward to sifting through some of the applications we get and helping to choose the overall Shropshire Apprentice of the Year.
Yep, can't wait.
Absolutely. Thanks for having us,
Thanks for joining us, folks. I'm going to go and find that penguin now.
Okay, good luck.
Shropshire Live. News and entertainment for Shropshire. Shropshire Live.
So Nick, we've come out of the main hall. Here we are on the mezzanine level of the Telford Skills Show. We can't start this interview by not mentioning, we're just going to put a picture up on screen now. This is you 20 years ago.
20 years ago, indeed, yes. I think the tie still fits. I'm not sure about the rest of the suit that I was wearing back then, but yeah. Amazing how quick it goes. You know, old people tell you that things go quickly as you get older. I must then be an old person.
And over those 20 years, I mean, we're at a skills show, how much have you upskilled yourself and grown as a person as well?
That's a great question. I've always been a fan of personal development, and I've always had loads of books. Emma, my wife, still sees them coming through from Amazon now and says, you'll never read them, but I do read them, mostly. And it's just always wanting more, always thinking you should do more, you can be more, and that relentless thirst for knowledge, really. And it really helps. It helps you to keep positive. Helps you to have a mindset that thinks, okay, things are changing, because that's one of the things of the last 20 years. Constant change, certainly in our industry, crikey. If you think back to how things were. And seemingly every month there's a tweak to regulations. There's the things that you need to do now or you need to stop doing. And you've got to keep on top of it all. And if you start getting wound up by it, you might as well finish.
So you are always upskilling yourself right now, because that's what you've got to do, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so, yeah. And there's some massive advancements coming through, latest technologies, and it's finding out what can help us, what can help clients. If you still try and do things as it was, you're going to be left behind. You need to embrace it.
So what's been going on in the world of finance? I know we're going to talk about pensions, aren't we? Workplace pensions.
Yeah, so workplace pensions, that's really leading on from a conversation I've had with a potential client who's been referred to us this month. And I've had a look at his pension statement, and he's got what they call lifestyling going on. So he's not chosen necessarily himself a range of funds. The system works out, well, this is your age, so as you get nearer retirement age, then it automatically de-risks you. So it puts you in supposedly safer funds that mean that the last minute you haven't got a dip in values, and then you're going and buying an annuity with a lower pot. The problem he's got is that, he's early 60s. We were talking about retiring in 4 or 5 years maybe, but he's already now gone into the lifestyling side of things, and he's got a lower risk portfolio than he would have had. Problem with the lower risk portfolio, from April 22 to April 23, 80% of his money is in the gilt fund. Gilt lost 30% in that time period. So although it's a secure part normally, with the way that the world's been and with UK politics probably has undermined confidence in the ability for the UK government to repay the debt. That has impacted massively on the gilt market. So at exactly the wrong time, he's had a big dip. Because he's got 80% in there, he's damaged his whole pot by 29%. He's had a loss in value of 29%. In reality, normally, you might have something like 10 or 15% in there rather than 80%, because probably he's not going to buy an annuity anyway. So when he gets to retirement age, his money will probably stay invested, and he might just draw income down every year, and the rest of the pot stays invested. So it reduces the damage of having access to your money and fills up the pot a little bit by next year's conversation. So by no fault of his own, just by having no advice, he's automatically sleptwalked into this situation, and there'll be millions of people out there that've got the same going on with their own pensions. And a lot of people are a bit apathetic about their pensions until they get to their 60s or maybe 50s. Absolutely, yeah. It's like, crikey, have I got enough? And if you leave it too late to work that out, it might be too late, and you might have to work longer. So you've got pension statements that have come through the last few months. Have a look at them. If you need advice, seek advice, qualified advice. We always say it, but get advice from someone that knows their way around a pension statement, can help to advise you on the funds that you're investing in, making sure that they suit your circumstances, because they might not be fit for purpose. You might have to make some changes. It might be a good scheme, but just in the wrong funds.
So it's worth checking. I bet some people probably get those pension statements through. They see the envelope, know what it is, put it on the shelf, forget about it.
Yeah. And generally, if they do open them, is it up or down from last year? Oh, it's up. Oh, great. Put it back in a drawer. Is it down? Oh, that's not so good. Put it back in a drawer and then let it go on. Because it's not the most exciting of things until you get nearer the age of relying on it. But the most time spent now is better, really, because you can actually get a plan. Once you've got a plan, you can make sure you're on track. And if you need to pay more, we're talking about probably tax year end as well. Still coming up. I know we've been talking about it on the show for a little while now, a few months, because we started early. But this is going to go out at the end of March. We've still got the first week of April. You've still got allowances to use, including pensions and ISAs and tax breaks and capital gains tax allowances that are reducing next tax year. So there was some serious things to think about and get on top of it, because once it's gone, it's gone. It's too late. You're on to 6th of April. New allowances start, but you've missed these allowances that are here now live today.
It's forward planning, isn't it? Once again, like we always talk about.
Yeah, always, yeah. Don't leave it last minute. And even the last week of April is possibly too late for some providers to accept payments. And if you're self-managing, make sure you don't miss the deadlines.
So anything else we should know about at the moment in the world of finance? We're told we're coming back out of recession. There's been a little bit of growth, hasn't there? How's it looking?
Yeah, we said a little bit last month, the world generally is okay. There's still some horrific things going on, and if you look at the news, you would think that financially we're in ruins, but financially, stock markets, America is still at all-time highs. Some massive companies making some massive profits, billions of pounds of profit a quarter, and they're ploughing that back in, and they're buying competitors, and so the mergers and acquisitions is quite lively. In Shropshire, there are quite an active scene of buyers and sellers that we see still. Got some great work with some clients and some accountants about how much is enough. So what do you need to do to tweak your business so it's the right shape with the right financial factors? So when you're talking about multiples of EBITDA and all of that great stuff, you're getting the maximum multiples because it's a clean business and it's good, and you haven't got any skeletons that are going to get found out in due diligence. And finding that out 2 or 3 years before a deal is looked for is much better than finding it out last minute and then your valuation is halving. So yeah, buyer beware almost with that stuff. But the diligence is amazing, and so much more technology now to ask the questions. If you've got it all your ducks lined up in a row, you're much more likely to get top price, and that might well set you up for the rest of your life.
You mentioned the politics word before. Obviously, we've got a general election looming here. Does that alter things in the way people think as well about their finances?
It does a little bit if they believe the headlines, and before the budget, one of the things that was talked about was the scrapping of inheritance tax. we were very cynical, and probably on the show very cynical, that was really going to be changed. It's a big earner. It's over £7 billion of tax. That's billion, not million. It's a lot of money coming in. To just do away with that, where else is that income going to come from? So it's okay chasing votes, but it's another thing actually putting things in place that are going to be stable and bring enough income in that can then be shared out wisely. So yeah, we're very, on the political side, whichever way then things end up happening, and whenever that might be, we still don't know, do we? But when there's a decision, then markets improve, because then there's some certainty, and companies and people like certainty. Even if they know if there's a change of administration, there might be more tax to pay, then so be it. But at least we'll know which way we're going forward for at least 4 years, and that makes you plan. And everyone that we work with likes to plan ahead, and you've got to be flexible as well. So I don't have a plan that's fixed in concrete. I have something that you can tweak. If the pandemic's shown us anything, it's being able to pivot and then create a new business opportunity or maximise potential. That's more important than ever.
There's a bit of talk about ISAs in the budget, and now we're hearing maybe that won't actually happen. So what's the situation with that?
Yeah, so it's one thing announcing a change in a product, in a tax allowance, 20,000 current ISA allowance, supposedly going to 25,000 with the extra 5,000 in a British ISA. We started sort of giving them the name, they're BISAs, all of a sudden it's a British ISA, and that's fantastic, but the industry takes a while to change these things. Even the software to accept a payment takes a while to change. Also, what's the parameters? How does it qualify to be a British ISA? Is it all invested in UK shares? Is it got to be in certain types of shares? It's amazing the level of detail that's lacking at the moment. So it turns out it might be a consultation. And the idea is lovely, to have an extra £5,000 and support Britain. I'm all for that, a loyal British citizen. But what's it got to look like to actually comply and be given the ISA wrapper status? So if it becomes 25,000 a year, great, but it won't be from the 6th of April for sure.
And you get something like that mentioned in the media, it's being pushed on the news, and then, as you said, there's not that much information as such, and then I guess people are asking you those questions, but you don't really have that much information.
That afternoon of the budget, I had at least 3 or 4 emails from clients and a couple of phone calls saying, we'll put an extra 5 in this year, now we can do this. But can we do it before the end of the tax year, or is it from... It's not just yet, but we'll definitely be on the ball as soon as it is available. But as a few things sometimes, the horse starts running before the actual rules are in play, and it's a bit of a false start at the moment. It's got to be fair.
Well, Nick, thank you as always for coming and having a chat with us, and great to see the photo of you. Congratulations on the 20 years in the industry as well.
Thanks. I hope that in time I'll get to become as smart as you, Chris.
Thank you very much. I'm a little overdressed, I feel. We're going to head back down now onto the floor of the skills show. Thank you, Nick.
Thanks, Chris.
Three individual sensors, optical, heat, and carbon monoxide, combined in one alarm for the ultimate fire and CO response. Introducing the EI3030, the next evolution in home life safety. Maximising coverage, whilst making installation simpler, easier and future-proof with the Easy Fit base. The EI3030 multi-sensor fire and carbon monoxide alarm is available to order now. Safety first. Eco first.
So we're back on the mezzanine here again now at the Skills Show in Telford with Julie from Shropshire Council. Just tell us a bit about you and your job.
My job is HR casework and project lead at Shropshire Council, so that's dealing with sort of casework and projects, including sort of developing sort of skills and experience across the organisation, and supporting line managers with basically managing their staff, supporting the team in their roles to achieve that as well.
I'm glad you mentioned the word skills there, because that's quite handy, isn't it, really? You're also on an apprenticeship, aren't you?
I am, yes. I'm currently doing the level 5 coaching professional apprenticeship, yeah. So developing myself as well as the rest of or helping to support the rest of the organisation.
what stage are you at with that? Near the start, near the end?
I'm near the end. I'm just about to go, well, I'm through the gateway now for the endpoint assessment, so I've done one element of it. I've got 2 left to go, so nervous times.
What was the motivation for taking it on then?
It was just self-development, really. Coaching's sort of quite an important part of sort of developing skills within the workplace as well. We've sort of got a bit of a coaching culture within the organisation. That's something that we're trying to develop. So there's been one large cohort so far, and there's going to be sort of more throughout the organisation as well. So it's something that we're looking to sort of progress further, developing leadership skills as well in across the organisation.
And great, it means you're practising what you preach as well to a certain degree at the local authority, doesn't it? So people know that you really do know what you're talking about.
Hopefully.
What are some of the big issues at the moment around apprenticeship specifically? I mean, we've spoken to one of your colleagues, Kate, in the past about the work that you do with the apprenticeship levy and awareness around that and the adoption levels of that. Where are we at with that at the moment?
Yeah, well, across Shropshire Council as a whole, we've had 600 people sort of apply and start apprenticeships across 112 different programmes. So there's quite a vast array of different courses that are available, and we've taken up 112 of those. We've had 260 people complete so far, so we've still got a lot of people on programme at the moment. And then in addition to that, we've got sort of assisted over 30 other people in other organisations to develop through the apprenticeships as part of that levy transfer scheme. So it's been really helpful, not just for Shropshire Council, but for organisations across the county as well.
Do you feel that awareness of the levy scheme and companies' understanding of it is where it should be?
I think probably more could be done. We do try to sort of highlight that as part of our organisation and our commitment to developing skills across the county. But I think you can never get complacent, can you? There's always more to do.
And in terms of the sectors that you operate in the most, I guess things like social care would be a big one. What sort of others? What are the big areas for you?
Yeah, the big areas tend to be social care, as you mentioned, childcare, particularly residential, the leadership and development management ones, they're key as well, and coaching has been quite a big one for us as well.
So is this a busy time of year? I know I want to talk to you about the leadership conference that's coming up in a few weeks' time, which I know you're involved in, because I met you downstairs this morning and you thought, I'll go and have a little walk round, see if I can sign up a few more people, which is very enterprising. But so what other elements of your job do you typically get involved in at this time of year?
Yeah, it's casework sort of throughout the year really, but we've got the projects, as you say. The leadership conference is the main one at the moment. That's sort of taken our time and our focus because we're only just over a month away from it. So we're really looking forward to that. And like you say, trying to get ticket sales. We've had a good response so far, but we're always happy for more people to come along. So
well, on the last edition of Sbltv, of course, Chris Pritchard interviewed Michael Heppel, one of the headline speakers, and we're going to be talking to a few more of them. But for people that don't know, just this is your sales pitch now. Give everybody a flavour of what it's all about and why they should be there and when it's all happening. Yeah,
so it's the 16th of April at 37 in Shrewsbury, so it's a fantastic venue. If anybody hasn't been, definitely come along. The speakers we've got, as you say, Michael Heppel. We've got the CEO of the Institute of Leadership, that's John Williams, and we've got Joanne Lockwood, who's the CEO of See Change Happen, the inclusivity experts. We've also got masterclasses, so it's not just about sitting down all day. There'll be opportunities to network and get up and about and move around. So the masterclasses, we've got a mindfulness one with Gemma Alice. We've got an AI session. We've got service animals coming in to talk about profiling and how that can help teams and coordinate. And we've got QA as well, talking about leadership. So we've got a bit of a variety. So hopefully something to please everybody.
I was just going to say, so it isn't really for a particular kind of person, is it really? It's just anyone in business in Shropshire that's interested in opening their minds to people's ideas and thoughts.
Absolutely, yeah. We're trying to make it as open as possible and sort of want everybody to sort of come along and to sort of gain those insights that can sort of help them in their careers. And obviously, as I say, the networking opportunities can be invaluable to small businesses. So that's a really good opportunity as well.
I was talking to somebody the other day about who was saying to me, can you remember now during COVID time when we couldn't get out and about and we couldn't network? And it's almost unthinkable about how everybody pivoted and adapted so quickly, isn't it? And we're talking obviously about skills and training here very much on the show today. And that was the same, wasn't it? Because all of that side of it had to change, didn't it?
It We actually did an online version of the leadership conference, which was sort of a challenge in itself. So it was interesting, but I mean, this is the fourth time that we've put on the conference, and it's going to be bigger and better than ever. So yeah, we're really looking forward to it.
There's no substitute for face-to-face, is there?
Not at all. No, you pick up so much more, don't you, face-to-face? I think it's really got benefits to the online. Has its place, but yeah, face-to-face is the best, I think.
Well, great to catch up with you. I look forward to seeing you at the conference, and I'll leave you to go and sell some more tickets downstairs now.
Fantastic. Thanks, Carl.
So here we are at the University of Chester stand. Now, University Centre Shrewsbury are sponsoring the Health and Social Care category at the award. So introduce yourself and your friend.
Of course, so my name is Zoe Lee and I am a learner mentor at the University of Chester. This is Giles, our little cuddly bear that we like to bring to careers fairs today. He's actually been hairdressing around the corner and bricklaying over there.
He's been a busy boy then, hasn't he, by the sound of it? Fantastic. Tell me about apprenticeships. What exactly specifically are you promoting here today, and what's the purpose of being here?
Yeah, of course. So it's all about obviously upskilling, gaining more confidence whilst you're working, earning money as well, and also coming to university, researching and taking that research out into the workplace to better yourself whilst you're out at work as well.
What sort of questions are people wanting to ask you then at an event like this?
So mainly people are just asking, what's the difference between a degree and a degree apprenticeship? Because obviously we do both at the University of Chester, and sometimes people are wanting to know what happens after that, what kind of skills can they gain from it, what kind of knowledge, what extra knowledge are they going to gain from getting an apprenticeship, and also how does it get paid for? How come I'm getting this for free? The best thing ever.
I think there's a catch.
Yeah, exactly, they do, whereas in reality there's loads of support available for them whilst they're with us as well as it being paid for, as well as them learning, earning and working at the same time.
And are you finding there's a real enthusiasm here to find out more about it? Because I mean, we're talking about skills shortages in lots of sectors at the moment, and this is one of the things that can solve it all, isn't it?
No, definitely, exactly. Yeah, I mean, we're having, I think, are the youngest year 9s that we've had speaking to us today already, asking about what degree apprenticeships are and what they can do in the future. So it's really, really exciting to see that people so young are already thinking about not just learning, but the careers after what they've been learning as well.
What's the most popular topic then in terms of courses? Is there one particular degree apprenticeship that is always first to be signed off?
Obviously I'm going to say nursing, aren't I? Of course I am, because we're fabulous at it.
But also there's so many different options career-wise you can go if you do that, Liz.
Of course there are. There's so many different options, and there's so many ways that you can top up when you start going into that area as well.
So where's the next date then for your companion? Where's he got to go yet?
I'm not too sure actually. He needs to go and find all the freebie sweets from everywhere, so I need to go and have a look around.
Has he said hello to the giant penguin that's doing the...
Yes, I've got a photo of him with the penguin.
It's good to network, isn't it? Great to see you. Thanks for your time and thanks for supporting the award.
Thank you very much.
Well, we're here with another award sponsor, sponsoring business, legal and finance. It's Dyke Yaxley. Natasha, thank you for being a sponsor.
No problem at all. It's something we are massively wanting to move forward with. So, yeah, very happy to do so.
So how's it going today then with your stand here at the Skills Show?
Yeah, so I think this is like the 4th or 5th year that we've been here now, and it's always a pleasure to come back. It's always really good to see the different schools and different colleges that get involved, as well as the older people who want to change careers and get into new apprenticeships as well. So really good.
How important is it as a company to take on apprentices?
Massively. Obviously, as we move kind of through the generations and things like that, it's really good to get different demographics and different ideas and what people want to do for their futures. We as a company want to invest heavily into grassroots and then progress people and invest in people to move through the business and bring their expertise and make us a better business, basically, yeah.
I bet you've seen some good success stories.
Absolutely. We've got 2 of them here with us today who we met here last year. So it's always really good that we have that full circle moment and they get to see the other side of what we do. And yeah, over the last couple of years, it's been really good. This is probably the best way that we find our apprentices. It's always been really fruitful, so really good.
Yeah, Emily, you are on an apprenticeship at the moment, aren't you?
Yes, I am, yeah. I started a year and a half ago.
How are you finding it so far?
I'm really enjoying it, yeah. I've learned a lot in the time that I've been there. Yeah, it's been really good.
So it's a good mix then of education, learning and also the practical side of things too.
Yeah, I find it really good because we can go sort of study for a bit and then come back and put it into practice at work. It really brings it all together.
And doing an apprenticeship, has it helped you learn more and understand more about this side of the business, in the actual sector as well?
It has, yeah. I've learned a lot about just the business as a whole. I get lots of experience in different areas, so it's been really good.
So Natasha then, are you looking for any apprentices at the moment? How often do you take on apprentices?
Absolutely. So every year we do an annual intake of our audit accounts trainees, so that they tend to start around the July. Reason for that is we give them a few months to teach them the basics and then get them enrolled into their apprentices. So every year we've done that for the past 6 or 7 years. We've usually take on up to 8, but it depends really on the people that we meet. We always want to make sure that we give every person opportunity, no matter where their background is and where they come from.
It's about getting in touch and having a chat with you guys.
Absolutely, yeah. There's always something on our website they can look into. We're usually at careers fairs, either here or at Shrewsbury Town Football Club as well. So yeah, we try to get ourselves out there as much as possible to make sure that people can get through to us, basically. So.
Yeah, well, listen, Natasha, Emily, thank you so much for chatting. Enjoy the rest of the day at the Skill Show. Thank you.
So we're here now with multi-award winning company Paverways, former Shropshire Company of the Year. They're sponsoring the construction category at the Apprenticeship Awards. And who am I with? Introduce yourself, tell me a bit about you.
I'm Alex, I'm the Health and Safety and Environment Manager for Paverways.
Come back to that in a minute, that sounds an interesting mix.
I'm Sabrina and I'm the Health and Wellbeing Officer for Paverways.
What's it been like here at the show today? What kind of things are you here to promote and what sort of things are people talking to you about?
So we're here to talk about apprenticeships. We currently have one multi-skilled apprenticeship for on the go at the moment and 2 carpentry apprenticeships. So looking into next year, we're hoping to do the same from this September.
And I mean, you've got a long, proud track record of supporting apprenticeships at Paverways, haven't you? I know you've got some apprentices that have worked their way through the business as well.
Yes, we've got a few people that came to us from college and still work with us sort of 15 years later.
So now, tell me a bit about your role then. It sounds quite specific and quite varied.
Well, it's my job really to make sure people are safe and make sure people go home at the end of the day.
Which is always helpful.
Yeah, obviously. I mean, we do various projects, but there's a lot of hazards and things that we have to look after, making sure that nothing happens and obviously everyone goes home.
Is that always been your job? Is that what you've done for a career full time?
No, it hasn't. No, I was a chef actually for 25 years.
That's a bit of a career shift, isn't it?
Yeah.
Did that happen?
Due to COVID really, and Paverways offered me an opportunity to retrain. So, and here I am 4 years later.
And enjoying it?
Yeah, definitely.
So do you spend quite a lot of time then outside the office, on site then, do you?
I spend about 50% of the time in the office, 50% on site. There's a lot of behind the scenes paperwork that needs to be done. And then obviously doing site inspections, making sure people are behaving, making sure we're doing what we need to do.
And when people come to the stand here today and say, so Paverways, tell us about some of the projects that you're involved in, what kind of work do you do? What do you tell them?
So we do a variety of different things. So we do a lot of school work on schools, reconstruction and new builds, hospitals. Trying to think what else.
I saw you've been in the headlines a couple of days ago, winning the contract for the new Arklewood School Academy in Telford. You do a lot of schools, don't you?
Yes, we do a lot of schools in Shropshire and in Wales.
Because all of your work, although you're a Shropshire-based company, a lot of your work is outside of the county, isn't it?
Yeah, we do a lot of work in Shropshire, in Paris, in Wrexham, even Cheshire, and beyond that really, Staffordshire. A lot of work with education and councils and things like that.
So what makes a perfect apprentice from your point of view? What kind of skills are you looking for from a person? Is it about qualifications? Is it about personality? Is it about attitude? Is it what is it that you're looking for?
I think it's a mixture of everything really. So being keen, obviously. What else would you say?
I think you just have to have the desire to do something. If you've got an interest in an apprenticeship, whether it's construction or anything, if it's something you want to do, then the apprenticeship can guide you through that.
And as you're an example, if people want to maybe take a complete career change and come in and do something totally different, then you'd recommend that, would you?
Yeah, definitely. Like I did an apprenticeship years ago, but in a completely different industry to the one I'm in now. And now I'm here trying to encourage the next generation of construction people.
Fabulous. Well, thank you for your time. We look forward to speaking to you over the course of the competition over the next few months, and then you guys helping us out to shortlist some great finalists. So thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Did you know entries are now open for the Shropshire Telford and Wrekin Apprenticeship Awards, the very first one?
We've got categories for apprentices, we've got categories for employers, and most importantly of all, entry is free.
It's all on our website. Go there, find out the details and enter.
Closing date for entries is June the 28th. You've got to be in it to win it.
Well, look who we found here, Holly Whittles, who is very kindly sponsoring our IT and digital category for the awards this year. How important are apprenticeships to your business? I know you've got some star apprentices of your own.
Yes, really, really important to us because we see them as a vital pathway into a career with tech, because the way that they're moving these standards forward, and I know we've been inputting into the curriculum of those, digital is now coming into every single sector, especially with the onset of AI. So it's really important as an employer that we support it, but also that we sort of walk the walk and we actually have apprenticeships in our own business.
That sector specifically has got so many opportunities at the moment. It's got jobs that haven't even been invented yet that we're going to be doing in 5 or 6 years' time, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. And some of the things that I'm inputting through the route panels that are writing the apprenticeship standards is we need to be embedding basic digital skills into all of the standards, because we're going to expect students to know these things. But obviously in our business, because we do data analytics and machine learning, I think we need slightly more niche digital skills, but you know, we're open to anything. Once you've got them through the door, having the right attitude, willingness to learn, enthusiasm, that we can teach them the rest of it. So for us, it's the personality and the person.
What about the PR, the image of the apprenticeship route? Do you think that's right in terms of potential candidates? Does it still have a stigma from what apprenticeships used to be like many years ago, do you think?
Yeah, there's often been a legacy of this. University was the gold star route and apprenticeships was seen as another route. It wasn't pushed as much, whereas I know there's been a lot of work certainly through the career hubs and the Gatsby Foundation, trying to really sort of bring all pathways open to students, because we can't expect them all to fit into the same sort of hole. So every person's different and a different pathway is going to work for them. So it might be a T-level route, it could be an apprenticeship route. University might be the right route. They might even want to just start work. But I very much champion the apprenticeship approach because I like that way of working with the employer and the provider to get it right and get the right person.
So what will you be looking for in the perfect star apprentice to deserve to be shortlisted here then?
Well, we need another Annabelle really, but I think, as I said before, it's that mindset and that willingness to learn, and I think someone that's willing to sort of go above and beyond, and if they want to shine, we will open the doors to allow them to do that. So we're after that really enthusiastic, willing person.
The progression through a business of former apprentices is such an important part, isn't it? Because then it shows people that you don't just come on ground level and stay at ground level. You could work your way through to director level and run the company one day.
Yeah, exactly. So we had someone do a level 3 apprenticeship with us. She'd been promoted within a year. She'd passed her apprenticeship. We promoted her. She's now a manager of the function that she's running in our business for us. So, great pathway for her. But one thing I always say to people as well is apprenticeships can also be used to upskill existing staff, and that's something that I did myself. As
I was going to say that you've walked the walk and talked the talk, haven't you?
Yeah, exactly. I thought, what can I do in lockdown? I know I'll do an apprenticeship. So for me, that was getting an industry qualification of, I had loads of experience, but actually in that particular area, I didn't have the certificate. And I thought, well, actually, it might be worth going back and revisiting some of that theory and practices. And, I found it a really good approach, and it's something that I encourage other people to do.
How did the experience compare to maybe what you expected it would be before you started it?
Oh, that's an interesting one. I wasn't quite sure what to expect, and I think it was a tricky time as well, because all of a sudden providers and colleges were having to teach online, so we were kind of the first cohort to embrace being taught over Teams. But actually for me that really worked, that hybrid approach, because it meant that I could stay in the office and I could get some work done I didn't have that commute time, and then I could think about it afterwards and do some study. So I think again it's embracing different modes of delivery for apprenticeships as well, and hybrid is definitely a really powerful one.
You're in a sector where it's been a little bit easier to do that, and filled with people whose mindset is maybe more amenable to it as well, isn't it?
Yeah, I suppose so, actually. I mean, like if you're in construction, that's a little bit more tricky, isn't it? So I saw a great meme the other day, actually, of it was a big building and it was covered in scaffolding, and there was a poster on the side of it that said, "Hey, ChatGPT, finish this building." I thought we're always going to need people.
That's the thing, isn't it? Tech is still going to be controlled by the people, and it shouldn't be controlling the people. That's the big difference, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. You know, when we're talking about AI and everyone's sort of finally jumped on the bandwagon, it's not going to take our jobs away. Our jobs are just going to be different. So what we're trying to do with apprenticeships is get that level basic digital skills, which means that they can then run with it and embed it into their organisations.
Well, I don't know about you, but I'm really looking forward to seeing what kind of entries we get for this category and getting stuck into finding some great candidates to shortlist. Thank you so much for coming on board with us, and good to catch up as ever.
And you, Carl, thank you so much.
Thank you. So we've come to visit our dear friends from the NHS here, and Alison is specifically to do with the integrated care system. What is the integrated care system?
So if you think of Shropshire, its geographical footprint in Shropshire, so every single business or provider that delivers care to its patients or clients, who's registered with what we call the CQC, Care Quality Commission, they're all our partners in the system. And as an integrated care system, we're trying to work together as partners to make things better for the patients and clients we look after, the workforce we're trying to attract and recruit and keep. So we're trying to do that better together rather than each individual organisation working separately. And so the benefits are huge. And within our integrated care system, we also have 2 colleges and 2 universities, so we're very much working with those education providers as well to do some creative stuff together to make it better for our young people to come into the profession, or people who might want to change their careers further along in their lives.
I guess it's quite a good way of emphasising the fact that there are so many different kinds of careers you can do within the NHS, isn't it?
Absolutely. And my particular role, whilst I have my NHS banner on today, my particular role kind of hovers across all of those organisations. So social care and independent care providers are a big part of trying to work together for the benefit of people who live in Shropshire and the care they give. But the NHS in particular, there's around 350 different types of jobs. Most people probably recognise the obvious: nurses, paramedics, doctors, dentists, that kind of, midwives. But there are some jobs that are lesser known. And something like today is a way of making young people aware of what lesser known roles there are to be able to think about for their own futures.
And how has it all been received? Are there in particular areas that have been more popular than others, or?
I think generally, the whole of the stands here that are representing health and care have been, there's been real interest in all of them. Particularly, I would say some of those lesser known stands we have here today, such as the therapeutic radiographers who deal with radiotherapy, our pharmacists. They are well known as a profession, but we have huge gaps in Shropshire with pharmacists. So it's been really well received and lovely to see young people, and not just young people, but people of all ages coming to think about what might be right for them as a career change, maybe.
Is Shropshire fairly typical? I mean, we hear nationally that there's huge skills gaps and skills shortages in the NHS. Is it similar here?
Very much similar here, I have to say. And we're also additionally challenged, being a very large rural county. So some young people like the bright lights of cities. So it's a little bit more harder for a rural geographical area to attract and keep people who might live in Shropshire. So we're very much trying to, and are indeed, building up training locally, so people don't have to travel if they can't or don't want to. They can have everything they need here in Shropshire. That's where we're trying to get to with our further education colleges and our universities.
I'm guessing no 2 weeks are the same in your job then?
No 2 weeks they are definitely not the same, but the value and the beauty of my role is connecting people of those individual providers we talked about earlier to come together, to work together. So if I give you an example, our pharmacists, both in our hospitals and out in the community, have all come together as a group, and as a result of engaging and talking and discussions, we now are offering a pharmacy technician training programme through one of our, Telford College actually, through one of our colleges locally. So people who want to be a pharmacy technician don't have to now travel, they can access it locally. So those are the sort of things we're looking at, really.
Is there still a perception that for some of these kind of areas people think they still do have to travel further to get them?
Absolutely. There is that perception, and it's very much about making people, particularly of school-age people and our careers teachers, aware of the offer, what can be accessed locally. So we have a website, a system website, and this year we were building on that system website to make those offers and those career pathways more accessible and more known, make people more aware, so parents of young children or adults can see what's on offer and actually, I didn't realise that college delivered that. Actually, that's something I'm curious about. So we're going to be doing that this year, starting from next month actually.
Excellent. Lots to do then by the sound of it. Great to catch up with you as always. Thanks for your time.
Yeah, thank you very much.
What a great time we've had at the Telford Skills Show. It's been good, Carl.
Absolutely. I mean, it's such a big event. Hopefully we've been able to give you a flavour of just what's been going on here. And great, of course, to catch up with so many of the sponsors who are backing our Apprenticeship Awards. I guess now it means that the starting pistol has been fired, entries are now open, and we hope that we've encouraged everyone to nominate some star apprentices or some employers that really do support apprenticeships.
Absolutely,
it's all about.
Yeah. Get your applications in. You've got until June the 28th, that's right, isn't it?
It is.
stwaa.co.uk is the website. You can find all the information on there on how to enter. And also, maybe there could be one or two sponsor opportunities still available.
There are still some sponsorship opportunities available, and of course, with Shropshire Business Live TV being a partner of the awards, it means that the awards night itself in October will be filmed, it'll be streamed. You can become part of Shropshire's own Hollywood royalty, can't you? So what's not to love about all of that, eh? Next month, exciting to say as well, we're on the road once again, aren't we? We're going to be at Shropshire BizFest at Wrekin College on the 11th of April. So if you're going to be there or you're planning to do something exciting, interesting, or want to get involved in the show, get in touch with us in all the usual places.
Absolutely, yeah. It's always good to hear from you. info@sbltv.co.uk. Drop us an email, let us know about what you're up to, and we'll share it on the show.
Thanks for watching. See you soon.